What's up, guys and gals? It's your host of the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the latest chapter review for Kengan Omega. Kengan Omega chapter 232, entitled Already Here. And we're just going to sort of go through this. I'm sort of pinched for time today, but there are a couple of things I want to talk about. Some people are just like, okay, it's another one of those info dump chapters from what I understood, and some people are like really hyped about what's happening. And I had to dig a little deep because I was sort of like, why are people hyped about this chapter and stuff? So I spent my time doing that quick bit of research on, Discord and stuff like that before I'm making this review. So, fact of the matter is, we open up with Hatsumi and Kanade shaking hands sort of idea, but Hatsumi recognizes right out of the gate. Actually, the first panel is quite funny. Some people are like, what the hell just happened? And some of the crowd is like, listen, we don't know what the hell happened, so maybe a match that's more obvious to amateur eyes sort of idea, which... fair enough, but once again, if I go to a place with, like, if I never watch football, and then I go to the Super Bowl and I don't understand what happened, it's kind of on me. I don't have a right to complain. Why was I at the Super Bowl, as not a football fan? That'd be weird. So, anyway, I sort of get the complaint. I found it comedic, but I sort of don't, because it's like, why are you here then? You just watch top-level combatants, all legends, except for Arashiyama, all legends fight, and plus Arashiyama, who's the king of purgatory, so fair enough. And why are you here then? You're going to the Super Bowl of, yeah, anyways, as a non-football fan, that was just weird to me. But then Kanade and Hatsumi, they're, like, oh man, good match, that kind of idea, you beat me, yada yada yada. And Hatsumi says, yeah, you were really good and stuff like that. And he goes, yeah, you sly fox, you. And he says, you used me as a sort of a step stool. I think what he sort of means here, because it's not really a step stool. If he was a step stool or a stepping stone, he would have won. I think what Hatsumi is meant to say here, or implying here, is you used me as your wall, as your sort of, okay, here's the gate. And I'm going to see, I used you as a measuring stick. How far is the gap? How close am I to your tier and your bracket of fighters? That's more so what he meant. Not so much a step stool, because a step stool would imply he went over him already. So, yeah, a measuring stick. Not a wall, but a measuring tape. Or a yardstick, a meter stick, a measuring stick. To determine how far... Here was the gap. How far have I closed the gap? Sort of idea. And Hatsumi acknowledges Kanade in his own thoughts, going, we got another contender here pushing at our door, sort of idea. So good for Kanade, good for Hatsumi there. Hatsumi acknowledging his strength, and Kanade just reaching that level. Like, good for him as a character, right? Because that's his whole shtick. He's weak. He's not gifted. So he's got to make up for that with pure, raw ingenuity and thinking outside the box. And he does it. He'll never be top tier or top of the verse, but he can be in the conversation for, A tier if he works hard enough, right? So, anyways, so they thank everybody for coming, yada yada yada, and then we go back to Oma and people, and we get to see Inaba! I know some people don't like Inaba and stuff like that. I don't know why. I know he's kind of creepy and stuff, and you would think me, not exactly being a fan of the whole crazy hair thing, not because of anime, but because of the Grudge movies. I am absolutely terrified of hair now. Long black hair that can move on its own. Yeah, nope, not my thing, right? It gives me the willies. So either way, fact of the matter is that I actually like Inaba, and he did freak me out in some panels due to my little bit of the hair thing gets to me. But he was really well drawn, very creepily drawn and stuff in his matches in Ashura. But I do like him as a character as we moved on, especially back in the day. I don't know if they still do it. I just don't have a site that gives me these translations. But Ashura always had the little side comics. And at the end of the volume, we had like literally 20-30 pages of just the characters screwing around, right? And that's what I think more manga needs and is lacking in this day and age especially. We don't have... the characters basically doing filler arc fun between the characters just for character lols. So what we have here is I really enjoyed Inaba after that, and now we get to see him again, so that's pretty cool. But when he's discussing with the Cure Clan and oh, what is her name? Is this This one's not Carla. This one's Kuicha. I always forget. Anyway, the Cure chick, as Inaba calls her. The Cure chick. Yeah, because she's Cure. No, it's not a K. It's Fu. Anyways, doesn't matter. Yeah, it's like, anyway, something with an F or something. Point is. And once again, I would right now, I'd like cut it and be like, all right, go back, look up the name, that kind of idea. But, you know, as I said, little crunch for time to do this review, but, yeah. There's no cutting here. It's all going to be, you know, it's going to be all the mistakes and everything, right? So, either way, they're talking all about the security. And this goes on for a few pages, right? They're talking about all the different security that's here and stuff. And then, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who makes even porn stars feel inadequate in the bedroom, is here to grace us with his presence. Looking like James motherfucking Bond if he was black and tattooed up and blind. Mutaba. Mutaba is here. One of my favorite characters, Mutaba. He is that man. He is the GOAT. And he's only in here for a few panels, but each panel is just pure gold. He is awesome. He is just looking. He's got that swagger. He's got that swagger, man. He's just, yeah. All right, so either way, so we see him here because we're seeing all the security details. We're seeing Dr. Hanafusu. There's Terashi stuff. Sort of, I saw a comment. I didn't really make the dots, but yeah, a lot of people saying, you know, Sandro missing Gojo much or something because he's very much dressed up like Gojo right now from Jujutsu Kaisen. And since, as we know, what sort of happened there that had a lot of people very upset, I wonder if Sandra's one of those upset people going, gay, you're burning in the kitchen, bud. You know, so in his own mind, he's like, no. Here's what we're going to do, Doc. We're going to turn our funny-ass, you know, loser character from Purgatory, we're going to give him the Gojo look. Yeah, that's gonna appease everybody. I don't know what he was thinking, but either way, I don't know if it was intentional, but it's quite funny. So they're chatting back and forth. Mutaba's here. The bodyguards are here. The Cure clan's here. Some other clans, I don't know if I'm supposed to know who these guys are. Apparently they're in the turf war. Some Tenkai clan, Tenkaichi clan, something like that. There was a lot of T's involved. And they are not there and stuff. And I think even Oma brings up, like, yeah, no. So, what was my next reference point here? Yeah, oh no, it's still about that. Hiring the strongest guys and stuff, and basically the Cure and Oma and Inaba are talking about how you can't just throw all these different... One group we don't see is, where's, what's his name? The wolf guy. Oh man, can't think of his name. But the dude from the Kengan Annihilation Tournament, the pretty boy. Where's he at? Why isn't he here? Like, isn't he, like, he's a super assassin group too and stuff? So I don't know, or maybe that's one of the clans that they were talking about. Either way, they're mentioning that bringing a bunch of strong security groups together along with these death dealers and all these people, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, because each group is going to have their own ways of doing things, you know? I mean, even in the real world, that's a thing. You can't just stick 10 electrical companies in a building and say, all of you are going to work together and get this done. Because, hell, within a company, there are 10 different ways to wire things, and not necessarily any of them are wrong. There's just preference among employees in one company. You try to get them, there's going to be egos, there's going to be pride, there's going to be, yeah, no, you can't do that. And we're seeing that here in this chapter. It's true for the real world. I deal with it. You know, I deal with it, not on a daily basis, but I have dealt with it in my career. And fact of the matter is that 100% that strong people, weapons masters, assassins, killers, all these guys, they're going to have a bigger ego than I do. Which, I mean, I still don't know how I get mine through the doorway, or how you guys don't, like, how it's not wide enough that it's off screen by this point. But I mean, the camera's really far back. It's a perspective thing, clearly. But yeah, no, like, these guys are all going to be egomaniacs. They're all going to be full of pride, and my shit don't stink, I'm better than all these guys. It's going to be their attitude. So, as they're putting up, they're like, yeah, and Inaba and the Cure girl, Cure chick are agreeing. They're just like, Yeah, no, the sniper Kirchik, they're just like, you can't just stick a bunch of strong-ass people together and expect them to, like, go together like mashed potatoes and gravy. It don't work that way, you know? Yeah, no, it doesn't work. You just fucking dumped a whole thing of soy sauce on top of mashed potatoes when you meant gravy. It don't work. I mean, with soy sauce, yeah, but that'd be too salty. Like, I'm saying a whole thing of soy sauce. I'm not saying you can add soy sauce to mashed potatoes. I've never tried that. That doesn't sound flavorful at all to me. No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, anyways. So, you know, I'm sure some crazy Food Wars mashup can use soy sauce and mashed potatoes in the cooking process, but I'm talking taking a bottle from the fridge, you take a whole thing of high sodium soy sauce and dump it on creamy mashed potatoes. You can't convince me that's not going to taste like the fucking salt water of the Atlantic Ocean. Alright? So that's not good. That's not a good thing. So yeah, it's just not going to go together well, right? So, either way, they're talking about how everyone's going to have a bit of a trouble and stuff, but this is where the CEO, of course, of the Death Dealers, Akira Honda, he's going to show up, right? Honda, he's going to show up, and it's going to be amazing, right? And I'm sticking to that. As far as I know, I haven't seen, you know, the points of his ears yet. This is still the karate master of 10 shadow, 1 fist, you know, or is it 10 fist, 1 shadow? Anyways, yeah, so he arrives by chopper and stuff, but there's something I'm noticing, and this is a similarity to when Shen was walking by, like, Oma, a couple of arcs ago, I think it was, and he was like, Oma, what's wrong? Oh, nothing, and Shen walked by him, sort of idea. We understand that Shen probably noticed him, but nobody noticed Shen, but Oma did, and now, once again, this dude in this pretty blazing suit just walks on through. Akira just walks on through and nobody's noticing him. He's just whistling and no big deal, right? And everyone's just looking at the choppers and all that stuff. Now, to be fair to the Purgatory Gojo character, Terashi, something like that. Terashi? Anyways, he notices something feels wrong. Something feels amiss the moment that dude arrives. So good on his instincts to notice something's off. There's something going on here beyond it. And so he starts talking to the bodyguard. Then he talks to Mutaba. And he's like, Mutaba, do you feel that right now? Something in the air has changed. Something's intense. Now, I guarantee you, Mutaba would have 100% noticed. But he's outside, guarding the back door. And he's like, okay, that is the dumbest fucking place to put the guy. The man, the myth, the legend is outside the building, guarding one of the many back door entrances? Are you fucked? You put him front and center where anything that's gonna go down is gonna go down. You put him inside the main arena. Are you insane? So I love that Bear's basically Pseudo Gojo here is pretty much saying, like, who in their right mind took the guy and didn't put him front and center? Are you nuts? I didn't have to say it. The manga said it for me. So even Sandro is a fan of his own goddamn creation and knows Mutaba should have been in the middle of this. So anyways, so they go on and they move on and stuff. Then once again, Oma, this guy walks by, Kira walks by, and Oma, right by him. And once again, they don't really notice. Nobody noticed. Not even Kira Girl. Nobody seems to notice him. But he gets that inkling just like with Shen. So Oma's the only one who is noticing these guys when they are unnoticed. And I don't know what's... Now I'm thinking that wasn't just Shen just mixing into the crowd. No one could sense it. I'm under the impression that this is one of those... They are purposely able to move without being seen. They are invisible, pretty much, to the naked eye. Like one of those things. Like, I don't mean like literally invisible. It's just your focus, you don't notice and stuff. It's been done in other mangas and animes, of course. But like that whole, your presence is so deeply masked. You erase your presence from somebody's mind, they will not be able to even, like, they'll look right past you without even actually seeing you, noticing you, you know? It's that sixth sense thing, they eliminate it. So their presence is gone, but Oma's still picking up. He doesn't see them necessarily, but he's the only one out of all these people actually getting it, you know? Because then, boom, everyone's talking about, yeah, Dude's gonna show up. By the way, Yan shows up with some other, dude. Looks like that reject that got killed by Mikitsuchi, or yeah, it was Mikitsuchi that killed this guy. So one of those, wannabes. And Yan's there and stuff. So Yan's here as well. Now, here's where the big thing goes down, right? Because we're seeing a lot of the Kengan Annihilation people and stuff like that. The Kengan Association and stuff. Once again, I don't really give a shit about Yan. I really don't. I mean, I want to see him fight, and I'm sure he's going to be a top-tier fighter. I just really need to see this guy get his shit kicked. I just do. I want to see this guy get his face punched in. Like, because he's going to go up against some, like, high-level B-tier fighter or something to show off how strong he is. No, have Cure Ryan come in and destroy this guy. I want him bloodied by the end of it. Even if he wins or lose or whatever, I want him beat the fuck out of before it's over. You know what I mean? That's something about him just pisses me off. So anyways, they're infiltrating, of course. But have they already infiltrated? This is my question, because we don't know who this lookalike guy is from that Mikitsuchi killed. He's question mark, question mark, question mark. Now, I think a lot of people are, I think this is a red herring, okay? Because we have this question mark guy. We don't know who he is, but he's there infiltrating with the head of the worm, Yan. We haven't seen him before. Then we see, as I said, the Kengan Association people, a lot of familiar faces again. Reno's there. I wonder if Mikitsuchi's around for security detail or something. And I wonder, have they ever repaired their relationship? I'm curious about that. That was a wholesome fucking relationship. And unfortunately, due to, the two characters, it didn't work out, but I feel bad for Mikitsuchi, and I want to see it. I want to see them return to form. And we see Shion. I wonder if, her and Hatsumi ever rekindled at some point, Because once again, I'd like them. See, I'm a romantic at heart, right? I want to see my romantic couples get together. Kaede's got to get, and yeah, I'm not, Carla's fine, but Kaede with Oma. I need Shion with Hatsumi. I need Reno with Mikitsuchi. Yeah, I need this. I need these things in my life. So, anyways, and we even see some of the rejected people, like the Disney guy and stuff. Though, funnily enough, we actually see in the background, where is it? Because I saved the panel. The debt chick, I forget her name, but the one that won all the matches based on the Yamagohan shit and stuff in the first manga, who was basically going to lose her company, her livelihood. She was going to be put to the sword sort of idea, and then she bet and got 3 out of the 4 fights right and became a gazillionaire from betting on the Kengan Annihilation tournament. She's actually there too and stuff, so kind of cool. But we're seeing quite a few familiar faces, of course, in the crowd. But this dude shows up and just goes, "I'm already here. I let myself in. Is that a problem?" And everyone's shocked as shit. Even Katahara Metsudo, the man, the myth, the legend. He's shocked. He's like, because nobody noticed the man show up. Then he shows up all shiny and sparkly, for some reason in front of a shower curtain, and says, I'm sure you've all figured it out as soon as you laid your eyes on me. Now, I wonder why he says that, because he is the CEO of the Death Dealers, Shen Lulahan. Now, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am a clone of the Connector. Now, here is where we talk about red herrings. Here's where we talk about red herrings. So, this guy says he is a clone of the Connector, but he's also named Shen. There's Shen Luhan and Shen Wulong. Now, a lot of people are going back and saying this is the Luhan that was mentioned when the leaders were all meeting up. We had the Connector, we had Tiger Nico, we had Yan and stuff. They were all meeting up in the inside. And where was this Luhan? This guy's name? Luhan. But he's destroying the worm. Now that could be a cover and a front. That could be sort of, we're going to kill, and that's why the worm is giving up so easily and stuff. Like a lot of people, this is going to make perfect sense. And we can take this at face value. That this guy is a clone of the Connector. But if there's more than one, then that means that we assume there's a couple possibilities here, because from Mukaku, from Shen, from all this stuff, we've learned that there's more than one Connector. And that Oma is not from the same clone, is not cloned from Shen. He's cloned from the other connector. One of maybe more than two. It could be 3 or 4 for all we know. We don't know why and how. We know that Ryuki is 100% Shen's clone. Oma is what we've assumed likely this guy's clone. However, is this guy actually working for the worm? Is this guy the other connector? Because what he claims is that he is a clone of the connector. But which connector is he talking about? Does he mean Shen Wulong, or does he mean the one before that and they divvied off into 2 branches? Once again, we don't know. So this guy Oma could be cloned from this guy. Potentially, this is a clone of the same vein as Oma from another one of the connectors, from that second connector. Or he doesn't have anything to do with Oma at all and we still never met the other connector. And if that's the case, then this guy is also a clone of, he could have been a twin because they look around the same age. This guy could be the same age, but then again, we have that crazy breathing, I live for 900 years bullshit. Which once again doesn't make any sense, but okay. We have the idea here that this guy could be of the Ryuki Jackie line, right? The Shen line. There is many possibilities, but so many people are going to take this at face value and say that this guy is the second connector and Oma's cloned from him. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that if all what I just explained, there's 3 or 4 possibilities that all still make sense within this. Now, the other key thing where I talked about a red herring, Lu Han. Mentioned once again by the leaders, by our emperors, our evil emperors, mentioned to be on a flight. He should be here soon. Is this guy the Lu Han that's working for the worm, for Yan, working together, and this is all a ruse? Potentially. However, let's call this a red herring and flip it. Lu Han is the, weird guy behind Yan infiltrating. Lu Han is another name for someone who took it on after this guy refused to go along with the worm's ideas and set up his own thing, the Death Dealers. Or I'm wrong completely. But Lu Han may not be the same Lu Han that we're seeing right now. Or maybe this guy took on the name because it's kind of coincidental. They both share the name Shen. And then this guy's Lu Han. So I'm just saying if it is face value, that's fine. But it's a little too on the nose. I like the idea this is a red herring. I like the idea that this is a Lu Han that either did go along with the worm up until that meeting, and then he said, yeah, no, I'm gonna fuck with you guys, hence why Yan's there to maybe see, like, what the hell, you betrayed us, like, what's your end game, what's your plan? Maybe he turned traitor, potentially. Or this isn't even the Lu Han that Yan was referring to. Maybe this guy took on the name Shen Lu Han, and it has nothing to do with that Lu Han. Maybe the Lu Han of the worm was the apprentice of this Lu Han, and remember, it's that whole, I always forget what the technique's called, where you're the same person, like I'm this guy, how I'm Alan Wu, and I'm the Wu clan, and they keep using that technique that keeps, I repeat in my brain and make myself go crazy. Yeah, maybe that's this version. Maybe the Lu Han is based on this connector, and was going through that, it's not the Gyu ritual, it's whatever, it's high, it begins with an H, it's like Hyun Seng or something like that, right? Maybe the Lu Han from the worm side that Yan was waiting for was trying to be this guy after this guy didn't want to go along with them for the last 30 years. I'm just saying, let's not put all our eggs in one Easter basket. Let's use what's that gray matter up between the ears, people, and let's have a little bit of fun with this. That's all I'm saying. And by the way, this is 100% totally Akira. I will literally put up a picture. Yeah. This is, right down to if the glasses had any type of darkness, if I shade in those glasses right now, Like, and once again, I still have yet to see the tips of this man's ears. You can't tell me he doesn't have elf ears. Until we see this man with his hair back, so I can confirm. Nah. We got 10 shadows, 1 fist infiltrating all of the Kengan universe. And that's actually a great matchup. Kengan characters versus Kenichi characters. Yeah, actually that'd be fun. That'd be fun. I think Kenichi takes it, but still, I like this. I like this idea. Anyways, I know it's a long-ass review, but that's why I had to carve out the time, because I am crunched for time. But I wanted to give all my theories about this, because I think it's a lot of fun. So, that being said, I think I covered all my theories, and I know I sort of was jumping back and forth between the other one and going, but potentially, but maybe, and I know I was sort of leapfrogging myself a little bit. So there's like 5 or 6 avenues, potential. And then there's just the basic, yep, this is the dude. He's working for the worm, and he's going to betray us all. You know, all the answers are solved. This is the second connector. He does work with the worm, and he's the one that almost cloned from. All the questions are answered with this one guy. Maybe, but all 3 plot lines answered with the one appearance of one character? Nah, that's too easy for me. I like the idea that potentially Sandra will be cooking. So, anyways, that's it for me, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. And we'll see you people back here next time for some more Kengan Omega Chapter 233. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. We'll see you back here next time. Have a good one, everybody. Sayonara.